Hi everybody, this is Shawn. I'm at the Rural Oklahoma Museum of Poetry in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, and today we're doing an activity for Earth Day, and we're going to be using nature print paper. It's been around for a long time, since 1977, as you can tell, and it's just a great way to celebrate the earth, the land, the wildflowers, the trees, the bushes, everything that sustains us. So here we go. Here's how you do this activity. So first of all, you need a piece of the paper that you can get from the Nature Print Paper Company online. And I have several packets of this here at the museum, and people are going to be coming in today and actually the rest of the weekend to do this activity. So you get a piece of paper out and you put it on this special paper. You put it on a piece of cardboard. And then you need to make sure that it adheres to the cardboard, because you're going to be carrying it outside to expose it to the light. So put some pins in it. I actually just have regular push pins. It's really a nice idea to have straight pins, because when you take it out and expose it to the light, it won't show the shadows like these do. So we're just kind of making do for right now. And now the next thing that you're going to do is find some objects that you want to put on the paper. I went outside and I got some neat pieces of trees and wildlife. That's a honeysuckle vine and a couple of weeds, I guess. You can also use things like keys, because these show up really neat on a piece of paper, especially kind of decorative keys like this. You can use letters if you want to spell something out. You can use actual flowers, but if you have some fake ones, those are good too. And then I've got a whole bucket of different types of leaves there too that are stickers, but you don't have to stick them on, but you could use them. So I think I'll just go with, I'm going to go with this piece of greenery because it looks really neat and it looks like it would show up when it's exposed quite well. And I'm going to pin it down with one pin right there. And then I think I will add maybe a leaf of a flower over here, there. Let's see, do I want to add another one? Let me pin that one down. If you have a coin, I don't have any right here now, but a quarter or a penny or whatever, really, if you set it down and you can keep it on the paper, that makes a nice sun or a moon. And let's see, maybe I'll just use one more piece of greenery. I'll just put that next to it and pin that down. Okay, now the thing is, when you're putting these things on the paper, what's going to happen is the sun is going to expose the paper, and what you see, like here, this part right here, will you really won't see that. All you're going to see is the outline of things. So think about it in terms of, what does my outline look like? And maybe I'll push some of these back so their shadows aren't so apparent. And I'm just going to go with that. So the next thing you do, I've got this cardboard actually on a piece of, on a clipboard, which makes it really easy to transport. You take it outside and then you expose it to the sun until it gets really pale blue. And this usually takes about 2 minutes. It's cloudy right now, but actually as I'm walking out here, the sun's coming out. So I'm going to take this out here in the sun and see what happens. It's not terribly sunny, and I'm kind of in the way. See, there's lots of clouds up in the sky today. There's the sun over there. Okay, and so you can kind of see the shadow that your objects, well, my pen came loose there, but anyway, the shadows that the objects make on the paper, that's what's going to get imprinted on there by the sun. At least we hope. Sometimes the design turns out exactly like you want it to, especially if the sun is bright and it's cooperating and you don't have to stand outside a really long time. We're just standing out here in the parking lot of the Poetry Museum, the Rural Oklahoma Museum of Poetry. It's about 10:30 in the morning, April 22nd, Earth Day. We have some nice trees back there behind the museum, and we're actually eventually going to have a little nature trail with poetry back there. It's just we have to find the time to get designing it, because we just moved into this museum in January, and then opened late in February, in March I mean, and so we got lots of work to do outside. We've done all the work inside. So you can see, I think, that the paper is turning quite a bit paler, and so we're going to give it just a little bit more time to make sure it's had enough exposure. Ideally you would set this down. I'm just holding it for this video, but ideally you would set it down, and while we're waiting, maybe I'll just recite a poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over hills and vales, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. 10,000 saw I at a dance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them outdid them, but I could not be such. Sorry. I lost the poem. A car went by and distracted me. I'll get back to that. Sorry, Wordsworth. Okay, I think our paper is about as pale as we need it to be for the exposure. And so I'm going to take it inside. Okay. There's our beautiful mural done by our artist and president of the museum, Alicia Little. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so we come in and now we just take everything off. Woo, look at that. That's kind of pretty. And then you're going to put your paper into some water for about 1 minute. So I've got some handy dandy small cake trays here, and that works really well for it. To get it in the water. So after it's been in there for about a minute, I've just got some paper towels here. We're going to set the print out on the paper towel, and then we'll let it dry. As it dries, see, it looks kind of fuzzy right now, but as it dries, the image will actually sharpen, and it will look, the paper will get a little bit darker, and it will just be a beautiful, easy, fun to do print. And here at the museum, here's our instructions. What we're also going to do is, while we're waiting for the paper to dry, when people come in and do this activity, I want them to write a poem about the design. So if I were going to write a poem about my design here, it would be something like, flower, large, beautiful, and bright, moving through the air, beneath the trees, beside the weeds. Yet what is a weed? Flowers shining bright. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was my first one.